is Joseph O'Brien, #1 rider, to his father Aidan over at Ballydoyle, and he joins us on the line now. Good afternoon to you, Joseph.
Hi, afternoon, Martin. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks, and thanks for taking the time out to chat to us. It must be quite an exciting time, a couple of classics gone and plenty to look forward to over the coming months.
Yes, no, definitely. I suppose we probably, we're looking forward to the next couple of weeks, and the Derby in Ascot and all the big races coming up.
Well, let's just start, Joseph, by looking back to Leading Light yesterday. He made his seasonal reappearance in the vintage crop, and how pleased were you with this comeback run?
You'd have to be delighted with it. He jumped out, and I was able to slot in and get a lead for the main part of the race, and he took it up probably 2 down, and he went out the line well. He got a shake tired, and couldn't ask for a better comeback.
And I guess it must have been pleasing to you as well that they've gone a good gallop and you've been able to just sit him in behind.
They went the right gallop all the way. There was no hiding place. I was giving weight away to all the other horses, and for him it looked a strong enough race before. So we were delighted with the run, and hopefully he can progress as he did last year.
And that's a key point, Joseph, the progression that's to come. I mean, often you use these races as stepping stones for bigger targets later in the year. Yes,
exactly. I suppose I couldn't have asked for him to do it much nicer. He's always a laid-back horse, and he's quite lazy when he gets to the front. So I just had to give him a couple of smacks to make him go about his job. But he does always when you do, and no, he's a very exciting stayer.
And what did you make of the opposition yesterday? I mean, it seemed to be quite a strong field.
It did on paper. Like I say, it looked a very good race. Obviously, the second horse has won the big staying race at Ascot, and he's an Irish Ledger winner, and he's one of the best stayers around. And the third filly, Pale Moses, she was a very highly thought of filly, and she's won her fair share of races very well. So no, it looked a very strong race, and so I was given the third £8 and the second £2. So like it was a big ask for my fella on his first run of the season, and there was no hiding place. They went a right good gallop all the way, so I couldn't have asked for much more.
Yeah, it's worth bearing in mind, as you say, he did have that penalty to carry yesterday as well. But yesterday's out the way now, and what's to come next? What's the plan going forward?
I know he's in the Saddlebag at Leopardstown, so I suppose he'd probably either go there or go straight to Ascot. That'll decide in and Mr. Magner, Mr. Taylor, Mr. Smith, and they'll decide in the next one. He could go to Leopardstown or go straight to Ascot. He's pretty versatile, and I don't think things racing doesn't take much out of him, so it shouldn't be a problem for him.
And he's been very strong, Joseph, at the end of most of his races we've seen him in. I mean, is he a sort of horse who could improve for the trip in the Gold Cup?
Yeah, like he's always finished out his races very well. He won 2 miles at Ascot last year. He didn't look to be stopping that day, but he's a great attitude and he's very laid back. But he's plenty of pace too for a horse that stays so well. He won a Group 3 over a mile and a quarter on fast ground up to Curra, and he's out of a Queen Mary winner. So like pace isn't too much of a problem for him. But like I say, I've no reason to suggest that he won't stay.
And you've been there as a stable with the likes of Yates and Fame and Glory. Does he possess any of the sort of similar qualities that they had that allowed them to win a Gold Cup?
You'd have to imagine that he does. He's a very laid-back horse. He's a great rhythm, and he's a great constitution, and he's a good quicken when you need him. So he seems to have everything. He ticks all the boxes. So hopefully he can show what he has at next day in the Ascot. But like I said, 2.5 miles it's an unknown. You don't never really know with any horse until they go and do the trip, if they really stay or not. So it is an unknown, but he's showing all the right signs.
And as you say, he ticks many of the boxes, including the fact that he's been to Royal Ascot and done it on the big stage. Yeah,
he won 2 miles at Ascot last year. We had a penalty in that race as well, and like I say, he's a great attitude. He relaxes, and he quickens up, and he does everything right. He's a dream to ride in a race. So, like I say, there's no reason to suggest that he shouldn't get the trip, but at the same time, he has plenty of pace, and and 2.5 miles is a long way.
Well, he's one to very much look forward to, as is Verrazzano, who made his debut for the team on Saturday in the Lockinge. Finished third, Joseph, and this looks a huge beast of a horse.
He is. He's a massive big horse. He ran a lovely race in New. They jumped and they went a right good gallop, and he was a little bit behind the bridle in the early part of the race. I suppose it was his first race on grass and a straight course and everything. But he really finished out well, and hopefully he can progress on Ascot.
I mean, just talk us through before the race, Joseph. I mean, how long's he been with you, and how did he adapt to the training regime? Because it must be awfully different for a horse coming to the setup that you've got there, a nice quiet environment, to training over in the States.
You know, it's totally different. Obviously, he's a lovely big laid back horse. He's a good attitude, so he takes things in his stride. But it is very different for him. You know, I suppose, insofar as everything is completely different, really. You know, even in the race, it was his first one on grass and his first one on the straight course, and obviously he's no drugs or anything like that also. And at home he's a very laid back horse. He works nicely. He does everything right, so he takes things in his stride. But I think with a one under his belt and going there, I think he should step up considerably.
And that was his first run on turf at the weekend. Were you quite confident he could transfer the ability as shown on the dirt surface to turf?
Yeah, I hope so. He's only actually been on grass probably twice with us. He did a couple of half speeds at the Curragh, and that was about it. And he went nicely on that. So he's a very nice horse, and like I say, he's relatively little experience. No experience towards our type of racing, so you'd imagine that he should step up the next day.
And where will that next day be, Joseph? Will be looking towards the Royal Meeting?
Yeah, I'd imagine probably the Queen Anne. Ascot should suit him. A mile suits him well, and hopefully nice, good, fast ground. So I'd imagine that's probably where he'd go. And
it's probably just worth bearing in mind as well that you had Declaration of War last year beaten in the Lockinge, and he stepped forward massively when he got to Royal Ascot.
He did, yeah. Declaration of War stepped up all throughout the year, and he got a mile and a quarter. So I'm not sure if this fellow would or wouldn't get a mile and a quarter, but he's a great attitude and he relaxes well. So you never know towards the second half of the season, but I'd imagine a mile is probably his trip for the moment.
Yeah, I think if he did sort of stay that mile and a quarter later in the campaign, it'd be an ideal sort to take back to America again for the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Yeah, listen, I suppose that's a long way away yet, but it is definitely something we think of. Hopefully we'll get that far, and he'll prove himself to be very high class, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it then.
OK, we'll look forward to seeing him then in the Queen Anne, and a big weekend to come. You're looking at running, I think about 4 horses on Saturday in the 2,000 Guineas at the Curragh. Yeah,
we've a couple in the Guineas. Hopefully the ground it can dry out between now and then. I think they got plenty of rain last night and yesterday, and I think the ground might be, I think it's yielding the softest at the moment, so that would be a bit of a worry. But hopefully the ground can dry out during the week, and it can be no worse than good.
Yeah, it does look a mixed forecast between now and Saturday. War Command, obviously, the main gun for Saturday. I mean, would soft ground be a big inconvenience for him?
Yes, I think soft ground would be a big inconvenience for quite a few of ours over the weekend. So hopefully we can, hopefully it can dry out, and the ground isn't any worse than good.
Well, we're watching War Command at the Curragh last summer at the moment, but of course he made his seasonal debut in the 2,000 Guineas at Newmarket. He finished down the field, but he wasn't beaten too far.
He wasn't beaten too far. I suppose he raced quite lazily through the race, and it was only his first run of the year. So hopefully he can step up from the Guineas going to the Curragh, like I suppose Power and Roderick O'Connor have done before. So hopefully he can step up again.
And did I read somewhere, Joseph, that you might be trying, was it cheek pieces or something on him this weekend?
Yeah, we were thinking about maybe cheek pieces or a visor or something, just to sharpen him up and get him to travel through his race. Like I say, he's quite a laid back horse, and he just does the bare minimum. So something like that might just click him back into gear.
And obviously he was a top class 2-year-old. I mean, from the signs you've seen at home, is he still maintaining that ability?
Yes, no, he's working very well. very happy with him. He's done some light work since Newmarket, and he seems to come out of the race well. So hopefully he can run to his due horse to Coventry form last year.
Okay, you've also got Magician turning up this weekend, have you?
Yes, he's in the Tattersalls again. Soft ground would be a big worry. So we're hoping for a dry week. And
we're just watching his comeback run where he looked as though he's been a bit laboured, but he ends up winning quite snugly.
Yeah, no, I was very happy with him. Just wanted him to relax and do things right, and to finish out his race well. Obviously, things didn't go 100% in Dubai, so he wanted to have a good experience, and he was always going to win. He only won a neck or a head or whatever it was in the end, but I was very happy with him, and he didn't have a hard race, and we were delighted.
And all being well after this weekend, I mean, I guess you've got to, as you say, watch the ground conditions, but is he the sort of horse you'd like to take back for the Coronation Stakes, named, of course, this year in honour of St Nick?
Magician, is it? Magician, is it, Martin? Hello?
Hello, yeah, we're here, Joseph, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. No, he could go there, or he could go to Ascot. So, like I say, he's a very good horse. He'll go to the Tattersalls if the ground is good. And then I sure Dad and the lads will decide where to go then. But he's a very, very good horse, and he'll be competitive any race on fast ground.
And it's got plenty of entries over the coming months as well. And Joseph, we heard from you quite extensively last week on Australia, so we won't go into that in any depth, but just checking all's well with the big horse?
Yeah, he's seems in good form. So hopefully he can get to the Derby in one piece.
Good stuff. Well, Joseph, we really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us. Many thanks, and let's hope you get a dry week leading up to this weekend.
Please God, thanks very much, man.
Cheers, there's Joseph.